So it's already set up for you, but here's the trick. It's his table. So that means he knows what you need and not what your flesh wants. Now, normally when we go out to eat, you can control who sits at your table, but at God's table, you can control who's present. God ends up orchestrating who is present and who is not present. Yes, you're going to have a spot at the table, but it may be a bit uncomfortable. You may have to sit at the table with people who poses as enemies. Preach done. You may have to have some uncomfortable conversations. Now, what's interesting about an enemy is we think the enemy is one person, but let me suggest this to you. What if the enemy is the inner me? What if you are the very one that you have to sit across the table from and have the uncomfortable conversation with? I'm finding out that sometimes I am the burden that the oil has to remove and the yoke that the oil has to destroy. Sometimes we can become the very weapon that is formed against us. Next level of healing and this next wave of breakthrough, this next wave of deliverance that's going to take place for you is going to be by taking a seat at the table of God with the enemies you keep avoiding. They have to be present so that you can get to the root of them and deal with them. You don't control who sits at the table, but here's the blessing. God says what you can count on is my presence showing up. And I'll add this for a few people who will be blessed by this. Assignments are temporary. Be careful making lifelong connections with temporary assignments. Well, Jessica caught that too. Learn how to discern the difference between a lifelong connection and an assignment. Some of us are still hurting from a relationship, a friendship, a family connection ending on the wrong notes. Now you're viewing them as an enemy, but let me suggest to you that the assignment just ended. Tell your neighbor they are not an enemy. They're just an assignment. Woo! Shot. And so